everyone, and welcome to Ohio Valley Couponer. Today it is Tuesday, May the 20th of 2025, and I'm coming at you guys with another video. I did a video earlier today. It's a Target couponing deals video. Make sure you guys check that out if you haven't already seen it because it's really good. But I wanted to make this video as well because I gotta tell you all about a trip I had at the Dollar General on Friday with the clearance event. I went to the store for the clearance event, and it was a trip like none other for me at the Dollar General. So much going on at this trip. It was a very stressful time. The cops were called. I mean, this was just crazy. And so I thought that some of you guys might want to hear about this and tell you all what happened. And also, I thought some of you guys might also want to see the clearance stuff that I found in my area, because I'm going to be real, I did not have the most successful time at the Dollar General clearance event, with the exception of Easter stuff. I did find a lot of Easter stuff, and that was crazy cheap. I'll show you guys that in the video. But like a lot of these things other people were finding. But, you know, I did not find a lot of these really awesome things that other people were finding. And if my area did have them, which I'm going to show you guys in a second, they literally were gone within the first couple of hours. It was wild. So anyways, I'm just going to get on into this story time. So last Friday, May the 16th, I headed over to the Dollar General for the clearance event, and I was going to go to a couple of different Dollar Generals, 3 total actually. Kind of went to some ones that are off the beaten path, that are a little bit out of the city, because I usually just have more success at those Dollar Generals because not as many couponers go there typically. I think that no longer proves true for one of them, which is the one that all these like crazy things were happening at. I think more people must be figuring out where the good clearance is, because yeah. But anyways, that was my plan. It was a little different. Normally when I'm Dollar General clearance shopping and this clearance event comes around, I would have been there when the doors opened or very shortly after. Because I just love these clearance events. However, right now, if you guys didn't know, I broke my foot, so I can't drive. Thankfully, my mom was super nice, was able to take me to some Dollar Generals, but I had to work around her work schedule because she works on Friday mornings, so definitely was different. If I could have gone myself, I probably would have been there when the place opened, but kind of sounds like that would have been a big ordeal based on what I'm about to tell you guys. So anyways, a little bit later to the game, but I still was at the Dollar General on Friday because this clearance event, so 50% off of the clearance. They already reduced clearance, so I was super, super excited. So I headed in there, and I actually went to scope the store out on Wednesday because I was going to actually look for Easter because it went on 90% off. But when I walked in the store on Wednesday, they had this huge cart thing full of paper products, laundry detergent. Oh my goodness, really, really good stuff there. The Scott paper towels and the Arm & Hammer detergent was the main thing that I was going after. These Arm & Hammer detergents, they were like $1 something. We had a $2 digital, so to adjust down to make those free. And then the Scott paper towels, we had a $1 digital as well. Those would have been crazy cheap. They had a lot of other laundry products, but they didn't really have coupons for some of those, so I wasn't into that. But like that, I did want the Purex crystals, so we had a $1 Ibotta offer, so that would have been crazy cheap. They had tons of, look at all this. I mean, that's a lot of laundry stuff. And so I knew I wasn't going to make it there when it first opened. And I thought, well, the Scott paper towels will probably be gone. But all those Arm & Hammer detergents there, I thought surely they'll have one left at least for me to grab in the Purex. But guys, I kid you not, I get to Dollar General on Friday. Not when they first opened, keep that in mind. It was later. But there was none. Not even gonna lie, I wonder if the employees took them before it even opened. I don't know. I mean, why would they set all this up if they did that? But I have been to a Dollar General before actually in my area that I went to check out, and they had a bunch of really good stuff behind the register for themselves. So I mean, it's always possible, but I actually did ask. I was like, hey, is all that, like, there was a cart out here the other day with all this stuff. And she was like, yeah, it's gone. It's sold within like when we first opened, it sold out. So apparently people came in here and just loaded up on all this laundry stuff, which, like I mentioned, I was only really going for the crazy cheap things like the Arm & Hammer being free, the Scott, and the Purex crystals. But I don't know, I guess people were just going for it. So that was already gone, which that truly was the main things I was even interested in. So that was kind of a bummer, but I was still going to look around to see what was going on. So actually, when I first got there were employees outside setting up some displays. Kind of like what you're seeing with these gray totes. I've seen those at most Dollar Generals, is like the gray totes full of clearance stuff. They were actually setting up a bunch of that outside. So when I first got there, I actually took a look at the stuff outside a little bit on what I could. They were setting stuff up, and I didn't want to ask them to move for me to look. So I was like, I want to get these laundry things and the paper towels that they got them. So I went inside pretty quickly, and all that was gone. And so I went out and asked them again. And they were like, no, all that sold out like first thing this morning. So that was a bummer for sure. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and look around anyway. I'm here. Why not? Well, I'm outside looking. So I'm, going through these bins again, and this time they're like, oh, if you want to get through it all, like just let us know. They're really nice. And plus I'm on this knee scooter, so it's massive and kind of a lot. So they were like, oh, if you need to get through, just let us know, and we'll move, no problem. And so I'm looking at the stuff outside, and then this manager comes out, and it was clear she was heated. She was very heated over this situation, and she was making it known. So several of the employees were outside setting up, so she came outside and started talking to them, and I'm just there in the mist looking at clearance stuff. And she's like, using some language, and she's talking about, oh, this guy, he'd clearly been there before. She was talking about how they've like done transactions with him, and he has them like void stuff and all these crazy things. And she's like, he just stole. I got his license plate. I called the sheriff. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, and then these other employees are discussing, like, oh, is this the one? Because this manager just comes out and starts talking about this person and how she called the police and all this stuff. And then the employees outside who are working on, setting up this display of clearance stuff, they're like, oh, is this so-and-so who I just voided a transaction for or something? And she's like, yeah, keep in mind all this is going on as I'm shopping, like looking outside this clearance stuff. And I do want to say again, they were all super kind of me. Like, here I am on this knee scooter, and they're like, oh, we can move. Like, so you can look at stuff. Just let us know. We're working on getting this set up. They were actually, one of them was super nice. I believe this is prior to the second time I came out to look at stuff. But she was like, oh, these things aren't ringing up right yet, but I'm fixing them. They were all super kind to me. But this was like clearly a heated situation. This must be a customer they've dealt with quite a bit. And yeah, so they were definitely frustrated. So I went inside, and the situation is about to escalate. So I go inside, I get those razors, my mom gets her a couple of things. Finishing up, about to check out, and suddenly a lady comes in the store, and you can tell it's on. So this lady comes in, and she is like, where's the manager? Who's the manager? So the manager comes in. Come to find out, this actually is the person they accused of stealing. This is his mom. So she is, coming in and like, why did you do this to my son? You said he stole. Who's the cashier who said he stole? Because my Dollar General, like almost all of them in my area, and we have so many Dollar Generals, it's not even funny, but only one of them I'm aware of even still has self-checkout. Most of them have just completely shut the self-checkouts down. And so this was done at a regular register. And what this mom is saying is, you said he stole something, but if the cashier didn't ring it up, why are you accusing of stealing when it was the cashier who was supposed to ring it up? That's her argument. And if that's really all there is to it, it makes sense, but I'm not sure. The store was very adamant that this person's caused problems and that something was up, so I don't know. Then they start pulling in the cashier who rang the guy up. They start pulling him in, asking questions, and it's just this like huge debacle going on at the Dollar General. Meanwhile, one of the cashiers who was stocking things outside, she came in and she was ringing, people up because they're standing at the register. A lot of this time, the cashier who was ringing people up, he was there answering questions about the whole thing. And it was just like a huge thing. And so, yeah, the mom like storms out again. I don't know what she was doing. I think she left. I can't be certain that it was her, but I can only assume because there was a car who sped up real fast and whipped out of the Dollar General. So we can only assume. I'm not certain. Likely was her, though, leaving. So I don't know what happened with it. I got to check out. I'm going to be honest, I actually thought about just putting the things down and leaving because that whole thing could have gone from bad to worse because you just truly never know. You never know what someone could do. And looking back, I probably should have left because you never know. And you always think things through a little bit differently after the fact. But I didn't end up leaving. The lady, the mom, actually left while I was still checking out. So yeah, but that happened. Of course, the computer was having issues, getting my phone number and then even paying. Like, I had to pay like twice because it wouldn't work. It was just a crazy experience. I was just like, I want out of this place. And so that was my first store that I went to that day. I went to 3. This is the first one I went to, and wish I would have skipped it, honestly. There was nothing even like, since all the laundry stuff was gone and the paper products and all that good stuff, I didn't need razors bad enough to go through all that stress. It was definitely a situation. But I didn't even film there just because all that was going on. There was yelling, cussing, just all this stuff. And so I didn't even film anything there. I just wanted to get out as soon as I could. I did film at the other 2 stores. So let me go and show you guys what I found. All right, guys, made it to the second Dollar General here. And this is actually pretty cool. I've not even made it to like the actual clearance aisle yet. But they already have like another section full of stuff here. Lots of different personal care items, things like that. So definitely going to look through all these things. I will say this one definitely does have a lot of different items, But unfortunately, really nothing that matches up with like the rebates and stuff, which is what I'm all about, rebates or coupons or whatever. But they do have quite a bit of stuff, so definitely keep your eyes peeled, and there's more over here. Nice. All right, guys, made it to the actual clearance aisle. I totally wish we had like a rebate or something on this, but you do have these tone body washes. I've not seen anybody else like post about these or anything, but these are ringing up for $1.35, which is actually pretty good. Not a bad deal for those, so might be something to look for if you're at the Dollar General and doing the clearance event. So we also found these True Living Ultra dish soaps. These guys are 73 cents, which is pretty good. Anytime I can get like a good sized dish soap like this for under $1, I definitely consider that a good deal. So I'm gonna pick this up. Oh my goodness, guys, I almost walked out of Dollar General without seeing the Easter stuff, and they actually have quite a bit left at this store. I'm impressed. So Easter, the like general merchandise is 90% off, but then you get an additional 50% off of that. So if it's $1, it's going to be 5 cents. So yeah, and then the candy, it's a little bit different, but like, how much are these? These were normally $1.50. They're ringing up for like 23 cents. So all this stuff is like crazy cheap. So definitely worth taking a look. All right, guys, this is evidence of a Dollar General clearance event. Got a clearance sticker stuck to my knee scooter. Fun. All right, guys, at the third Dollar General, and I found even more Easter stuff at this one. Like, oh my goodness, this is just crazy. Oh my goodness, guys, I finally found a store that has laundry stuff left. Cannot even believe it. Now, unfortunately, I'm not seeing the ones that are crazy cheap, but nonetheless, they do still have stuff. Oh my goodness, guys, this Dollar General clearance section, so much stuff in it. It's pretty overwhelming. Anyways, guys, that's actually all I got for this video. I do hope y'all did enjoy. I do want to hear your thoughts down below. Have you ever witnessed anything like this at the store where there's like a debacle in front of a bunch of people? I would love to know that down below. I truly don't know who's in the right here. The cashier did like admit that they didn't catch that something, like they thought that something was stolen until after the transaction. That's what the mom was arguing, like, you're saying he stole, but you didn't like say that until after the transaction was done. So I don't know. I do know at the moment the manager was planning to trespass the person, so I guess they won't be having this fight again at this Dollar General. But yeah, definitely was a weird situation, something weird to witness. Like, normally this is a pretty chill store. It's kind of out in the, kind of out in the country a little bit. But there was this day, there was just a lot going on. So anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below. How'd you do at the clearance event? Have you ever seen anything like this happen at the store before? And thank you so much for watching.